Hi, so in this video, I'm recording it on my computer. I just wanted to talk about, I guess how I feel about China and just to put a little bit of context about some of the videos I make where I criticize guys like Serpentza or guys like Laowhy86, because there's a lot of people that have come onto my channel and they've made comments and some of the comments are pretty full on, you know. Like I'll read one of the comments now. Bike Basket, you know, I'm not going to advertise this guy, but he said, "Bike Basket, you should think twice before selling your soul to the devil." You know, this kind of stuff. And I'm a human being. Do I really agree to sell my soul to the devil? You can see there's a Bible up there, the Bible that Serpentza says doesn't exist. You know, it's up there on the wall, up there in the little nook there. I don't agree to sell my soul to the devil. I would never do that. So what is China to me? Like, what do I think about China? I think China's a wonderful country, filled with wonderful people. It's an amazing country. Now, does it have the same system of government as Australia? No, it doesn't. It's a different country. You know, it's a totally different country. It's a totally different culture. And a lot of these guys that come at me online, and you know, I should find another one. I should find a couple more. Okay, here we go. Obviously, you can't speak the truth, because if you did, your internet and VPN would be terminated. There are anti-foreigner posters warning people. You know, this guy has said, "May God have mercy on your soul." So he's talking about that. You can't handle the truth. I mean, all this kind of stuff, you know. And what is the truth to me? You know, like, what do I think about the country? I can use all of these words I can say words now. I can say, like, I think they're beautiful people, or, you know, what does that mean? Does it mean I think they look good or something like that? I don't mean it like that. I mean, they're terrific. You know, they're terrific people. They've always helped me. And I could give so many examples, you know, like, and when I was growing up, in my family, it was just taken for granted that Chinese people were really nice people. Like, there was no question about that. There was no question whatsoever. And my dad, you know, I'll get into my family a little bit. My dad was a high school teacher. My real father was a high school teacher, and he was a typical high school teacher of his generation. You know, he was a little bit left-wing, and we had some books about China, and they glorified China a little bit, but my father wasn't naive. He didn't ask me to read the books. He wasn't crazy like that, but they were in the house, and I read them, and I looked at the pictures and stuff, and we had a book called The Long March that was about Mr. Mao and his mates and all that stuff running around Western China, and it was full of photographs. It was written in the late 1980s, and they used international photographers to visit these various sites in the country, and you know, I just always had a positive view of China. I never thought that China was a terrible, evil thing. At university, I wrote an essay that said that, and this was in 2002, just after China joined the World Trade Organization, and I looked at it, and I sort of said that the trade is going to be so big that, and I was just a kid, but I'm just saying, and I sort of said the trade's going to be so big that everything's going to hold together, and that was the orthodox view. That was the orthodox view then, and I knew they had a different system of government. I knew that they had a different way of doing things, but when I came here and spent a bit of time here, that began to make a bit more sense. And I think it's very important to remember, like, a lot of these guys who are in their 70s and their 60s and older, they are familiar in a sense with what you could broadly term communist ideology. They are. But it's so sinicized now that it's not, like, even though the symbols might be familiar to us in terms of, like, the Soviet Union or something like that, the political culture or the social culture, I shouldn't and I won't talk about the political culture. It's not something I know about, but the social culture in the society where I live, and I can talk about that. Everything's so sinicized, it's so Chinese now, that I think it's really unfair to sort of look at China as a communist country or whatever. I mean, it does have a lot of those institutional features. And again, I always criticize Serpentza and Serpentza, and I criticize Laowhy86 for coming across as experts or whatever. And I don't pretend. I'm not sitting here saying I'm an expert. I'm just sitting here saying what I see. And I guess what I'm trying to say is China's China. Like, that's, it's a special place. There's only one place in the world like it. It's China. And is it evil? Is it expansionist? Is it bad? I don't agree that it is. No society's perfect, and if somebody wants to stand up and say that there's a perfect country in the world, you better build a fence, because I'm going there. But I guess, like, for me, China is also like, it's Cathay, it's a place of wonders, it's a place of miracles, it's a place of incredible sights and incredible sounds, and for me that's been true. That's been true, and it's just really hard to explain, but it's just such a beautiful country. The people are so friendly to me. They've been so kind to me. My wife is Chinese, and when I criticize Serpentza and what he's doing and what Laowhy86 are doing by trying to get 250 million plus people to think that China's evil and so on, it's that, and look, there might be someone watching who says, oh, Serpentza, he loves the Chinese people, he just doesn't love the government. Well, that's just not believable anymore, because he's talking about trade boycotts, and he's talking about, every person in Australia of Chinese ancestry that's moved there in the last 10 years as a corrupt official and all this kind of stuff. So, give me a break. What does Jolly Nation say? Give me a fucking break. Yeah, and when they've got their 250 million potential viewers, I mean, that's the sum total of all their views, it's more like 300 million. They are a kind of an information superpower. They are a kind of information superpower. And I'm just sort of screaming into this storm saying what they're saying is not the whole story, and it's not accurate insofar as like what I believe it is. And when they used to make realistic videos about going to a supermarket and going to the beach and riding a motorbike or something, that was pretty cool. But now they're using all these graphics and whatever to show that China's evil and stuff. It's just, you know, somebody has to stand up to these guys, and I'm willing to do it, you know. And look, this video is just an explanation about that. It's just meant to be an explanation that just, I guess, gives some people, my critics and my fans, some explanation as to where I'm coming from when I make these videos about Serpentza and Laowhy86. And you know, I'm not. You can't pin me down because I'm not running to the other side of it as well. You know, I'm not totally in agreement with a lot of the stuff that the so-called shills say either. You know, like I'm not easy to pin down. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say.